Greetings, denizens of the tri-state area. Jacob Weil here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
And Dragon, I know what we're gonna do today. We're gonna activate the Recap-inator and discuss my favorite cartoon, Phineas and Ferb. That's right, in honor of the 15th anniversary and in preparation for the upcoming revival, I'm guiding Blue Dragon 5 here through the series, experiencing his reactions, watching it for the first time, and reliving my summer memories through the years. Today's episodes are Agent Doof and Phineas and Ferb and the Temple of Juatchadoon. So, first off, we get Doof joins the OWCA. How you feeling on this one, Dragon?
I'm loving Doof in the hat.
Yep, it's definitely an interesting sight seeing Doof wearing a fedora, technically in both episodes, kind of.
Yeah, Doof wearing some stylish headwear.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, but it's Doofenshmirtz joining Alka. And apparently, Phineas and Ferb get turned into babies.
Yep.
It's the baby episode, basically.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, this episode is kind of a bit of fun, mainly on the Doofenshmirtz side of things, but the baby side has some fun stuff too. All right, let's get into it, shall we?
Yes.
All right. So, Dragon, why don't you start us off?
All right, so Linda's attending a party for a friend's 2-year-old.
Pretty much, yeah.
Candace, she dooms herself cosmically here when she says toddlers are easy.
Yeah, like anyone could basically know that toddlers are not easy.
Oh, God, especially when they're 2.
Oh, yeah, the terrible twos.
Yeah.
I have experience with my nieces and nephews being that age. What about you, Dragon? Any personal experience in that regard?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I can definitely kind of relate to that. And before we jump in, as you can notice, we had a little bit of a time warp sing along in the comments section between Aquatat and Little Blue. It's like talking about it's a time warp, and then got into all of the lyrics. So there we go. Aquatat even says I should know Aquatat is a 2-year-old cousin. So yeah, the terrible twos are definitely relatable.
Mm-hmm.
So then Perry arrives at his lair and realizes that Doofenshmirtz is there.
Yes, Doofenshmirtz claims to have taken over Alka, and then, of course, we reveal that is not remotely the case.
Nope. Not yet.
So, in actuality, Doofenshmirtz, he's given up evil after his Babe-inator failed.
It's not what you think.
No.
I love that gag. Like he tells Perry about the Babe-inator. It's like Perry looks at it like, it's not what you think.
Yes, that's if Johnny Bravo turned to evil, he would have built that inator.
Yeah, but the kind that Perry was initially thinking of.
Yep.
Oh God. So, but the funny thing is how Doof was able to be recruited into the agency in the first place.
Yes, he had an epiphany.
Well, yeah, he realized.
Well, I know they could have turned him down, but they realized there's a technicality.
Yep, technically, since he was adopted by ocelots, and eyes of law that makes him an ocelot.
Meow.
So yep, legal technicalities make him an ocelot.
Yeah.
But he had an epiphany. Now, as you said, it's like
yes, maybe he's not good at being evil.
He tried firing the inator, but it didn't work.
Of course, the reason it didn't work is that it was unplugged.
Yep, as you see when Norm plugs it in.
Of course, in plugging it, it just set to randomly fire, and of course, in doing so,
it's the boys.
Yep, it hits the boys, now turning the boys to children.
Babies, literally babies.
So, Candace is in charge, and I love that this time she outlined everything possible the boys, should not get into, and who knows, it might have took until they get turned into babies. So there's a way of throwing the formula out the window. Well, no, they're gonna disobey Candace completely because they're babies.
Yeah, because they don't know what's going on.
No, not remotely. They're little idiots. Look at them.
Well, you say little idiots, but then they throw together a motorized stroller later on.
Well, I mean, to the untrained eye. To
Yeah.
Candace initially, little babes, nothing. No, not what you think. Little babies, nothing. Nothing going on upstairs. But if we learn anything from the Rugrats, all the potential in the world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So little baby geniuses they got.
Also, with the babies that really like Indiana Jones, as we're going to find out in the next episode.
Oh yeah. So what do you think of them as babies?
Well, they definitely there's a cute factor there, but also
Their eyes are way too big.
yeah, big eyes and baby Phineas by proxy. Let's just say that he's no Grogu.
Like the eyes didn't. Let's just say their eyes weren't proportional to that size of their head when they were younger.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does look a little bit off.
Oh yeah. So clearly, Dan and Swampy, they they got a baby hang up, man. They love their babies because we always have the floating baby head, which is very noticeably absent in this episode.
Yep.
So it's just kind of it seems like fatherhood was on their brains.
Yep. Do you have a message to them or anything? Or
Yeah, sure.
all right, here we go.
Dan, Swampy, you're both baby crazy. Okay, we're done.
Well, they both have experience with fatherhood, so.
Yep.
All right. The giant floating baby head was booked that day.
Oh yeah, sure. What's the giant floating baby head gonna do all day anyway? Dance with the haunted swimsuit?
Well, who knows? Maybe it was off somewhere granting wishes or something.
Ah.
All right. Well, we'll see.
It's like Zombie's offspring.
Zombie?
Yeah, from Pee Wee Herman.
All right.
Yeah, Pee Wee's Playhouse.
I never watched Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Okay.
I know Philistine, I know.
Yeah.
I just lost 5 viewers because I said I didn't watch Pee Wee's Playhouse.
I'm sorry, folks. I apologize for my colleague and his less traveled experience.
Oh yeah, I'm so uncultured that I haven't watched Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Exactly, Jacob. You bring shame to the channel. Just dear God, man. Just when I thought you couldn't be any more unwise.
I've seen Pee Wee's Big Adventure though.
Okay, maybe you're redeemed a little bit. All right, folks. We've redeemed him a little bit. We're just gonna move on.
And that one Netflix movie too.
Okay, folks. He's getting better.
So I'm not completely unversed in the world of Pee Wee.
We're kind of buying back some street cred, but he's still a little lopsided. But he's lopsided like the boys, like Ferb's eyes. We're gonna let it slide.
This is Little Blue's reaction to me not having seen Pee Wee's Playhouse. I mean, I've seen bits of Pee Wee's Playhouse. I haven't just actually watched a full episode, but I do know that's where Lawrence Fishburne got his start as Cowboy Curtis.
Yes.
So I do know some stuff about it.
Yep.
I haven't seen it either, but it was also before my time, says Aquatad.
Yeah.
All right. And I don't even know where you can watch it now anyway.
That is actually a good question.
Well, either way.
All right.
So Doof's being shown around the Alka facilities. and not really off to a good start.
No, he's HR's gonna have a field day with Highness Doofenshmirtz.
I think it's just because he's a human dragon.
Jacob, that's rather prejudice.
Well, I'm just saying.
Oh, he was raised by ocelots. I mean, come on.
I guess I'm just saying that it's because he's human, isn't it? Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But anyways, like starts with hanging up a cat poster, and apparently the cat isn't a big fan of that. He later tells apparently a joke about ducks and grapes, which the duck doesn't like.
Yeah.
And apparently the duck's the one that rats him out to HR later.
Yeah.
So it was the duck. And apparently, and apparently, did it seem to you like he's got some dirt on everyone, or like everybody else knows that he's the one to do the snitching?
Well, yeah, they all know he did it.
And they all know that he's like, you get what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah, they're all like a lot of them seemingly like Doofenshmirtz's joke, but they're like, oh man, that duck just kind of, duck has no sense of humor.
And they all just look at him when the duck just slides away out of view.
Yeah.
like they know that. They know.
Oh yeah.
That duck's just after everybody's job, isn't he?
Doofenshmirtz's revenge. That night for dinner, duck à l'orange. I am so going to enjoy this. Vanessa, eat up. It's for spite. Isn't that tasty, spite? Oh, it might be spit roast, which one could say is spite roasted.
That's a good one.
No, I'm getting a doggy bag. I want Vanessa to enjoy this later when she's with her mother.
Oh, God. But what really sets the episode plot into motion is when he accidentally reveals Newton the New's secret identity as Agent Silent G.
Yep.
Oh, God. So, yeah.
He's silent, but deadly.
Exactly.
So we have Doof with the fedora, which is great, and he and Perry Platypus. I always live for the moments where we have like Tom and Jerry working together. So this is a treat seeing them kind of like side by side wearing hats.
Oh yeah, both wearing fedoras, fitting in Perry's little hover car.
Uh-huh.
Heading to
breaking down the door, right?
Hey, I mean, to be fair, remember Perry once had the same issue.
Yeah.
So it's not exactly anything new there. And apparently it's the house of Dr. Diminutive.
Yeah.
Also voiced by D. Baker, by the way.
Well, he needs to work.
He's not like one of the busiest voice actors in the business or anything.
Oh, come on. Baker's lucky if he can eat the next day. Come on. I mean, D. Bradley Baker, he's getting ready to go into the pastry business.
Live up to his name.
There's no future in voice acting. He's just going off of a gag name. So he already printed up all the business cards, so he's got like, okay, man, I have to make this work. I put so much money in these business cards. What can I do? Baker, that'll work.
Yep.
All the best bread in the land.
Hey, Dragon, whatever happened to the guy who voiced all the clones in the Clone Wars?
Well, he opened a bakery.
Oh, there you go. I don't know. What was his name again?
I think it was Nick Bakery.
Well, Baker's Bakery's Bakery.
Yeah, something like that.
All right. So Dr. Diminutive apparently has captured Newton the New. And
because Doofenshmirtz accidentally leaked his ID.
Yeah.
Because he has like a newsletter, kind of evil journal of some kind.
And he couldn't even stymie that for his work at the agency.
Yep. Also, he destroyed Major Monogram's awesome car.
Yep. Carl was trying to wax the car, but dang it, Doof, he accidentally fired a missile and it destroyed his car.
Doofenshmirtz.
Yeah. It's not. We can't blame Carl this time.
Well, still, I'm sure Monogram would find a way.
I'm sure he would, but remember, he did try to teach Carl karate, though.
He did, kind of Karate Kid style.
It's like, it'll teach you karate. No, it won't.
Nope. Anyway, so the boys, well, the babies, they foil a robbery.
The episode, and then what's great about that is like it's like the robber finds his bike has been taken apart. It's like, oh, good, the police. I can report this. It's like, hey, police, my car's been my bike's been vandalized in there. It's like, oh, right.
Interesting that the boys, in their younger state, they're far more destructive than law breaking because they stole a bike.
Oh, babies don't really have morals, Dragon.
Exactly. They haven't been shaped. They're just evil clay before they've been shaped into productive members of society.
Pretty much.
Especially when they're in the terrible twos.
It's like we don't know. I mean, it's never explicitly stated how old the boys are.
Well, we would know if they didn't rip up the newspaper.
Yeah. Well, then, and Candace
Also,
yeah.
Phineas willfully, I would argue, destroyed Candace's phone.
he's a baby dragon.
You have to wonder, though. Yes, baby. However, just reduced in age. We don't know like how how much their mental faculties they do have. They could all be that this whole episode could be intentional for all we know from them. You can't tell me I'm wrong. We don't get a clear-cut answer.
Especially considering they don't change back at the end of the episode.
There you go. So, Jay, do you know what time it is?
I think I do, Dragon.
It's Gritty Reboot time! All right. Baby Phineas, little demonic spawn that he is.
Him and his oversized eyes.
Yeah. Those eyes, they're looking for trouble. So Baby Phineas, he knows exactly what he's doing. He's destroying Candace's phone in the fountain. He's on the warpath. He gets the idea to take that guy's bike and soup it up.
And a motorized baby stroller.
Yep. There you go. I'm just saying, it's like so very easy. Just take what we have, Phineas doing it all intentionally. It's like the old SpongeBob thing, where SpongeBob, did some of his more, kind of seemingly unintentionally inconsiderate things. The Squidward actually intentionally, like passive aggressively. Yeah.
Well, who knows? Maybe Phineas is doing that, and that means Ferb is complicit in all this too.
Well, yeah, he destroyed the newspaper.
It's like he's just, you know what that is? You know what that is, Dragon? Destroying the evidence.
Yeah.
So Ferb's in all that too. For all you know, he could be the mastermind.
Yep.
Ferb could be the silent mastermind behind the whole thing.
Come on. Ferb doesn't have ambition.
It's like remember, silent but deadly, Dragon.
Oh, it's true.
It's like, so who's to say that Ferb isn't the silent mastermind behind all this?
Yeah. Well, if he was, I think he would have ended up in the arms of Vanessa.
All right, fair point.
Would have just crawled into a baby basket and left himself on the doorstep of Vanessa Doofenshmirtz.
Fair point there.
If he were truly evil.
He's a man of action.
Yep.
I mean, that's what... All right, should we get back to the episode, or do you have any more for the Gritty Reboot?
No, I think we're good for now.
All right. So... The Diminutive weapon is pretty interesting. Creates, solid bubbles and all that, or encase things in.
Yep.
And... Unfortunately, Doof gets the blame for the destruction of the office, even though it's kind of Perry's fault.
Well, kind of.
I mean,
It did set the dominoes. You know, you tip over the dominoes with the whole like leaking the information.
yeah, I know, but technically, the destruction of the office part was technically Perry's doing.
That's true.
I mean, the domino, it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Doof. You're right, but if we're technically speaking, it would be Doof's fault. It would be Perry's fault.
Yeah.
And but at the end, Doof though receives another revelation that he is actually like, due to the monogram stating that he did far more damage inside the facility than ever outside of it. He says like, I am good at being evil after all.
Yep. Done more damage to Alka than he ever did as an evil scientist.
Yep. So they don't want him there. They don't want him in in Alka anymore.
So he's fired.
Yeah, but he is once again an evil scientist.
Meanwhile,
and tells Norm to fire up the innators.
Norm, we're back in business.
And so he dusts off the Babe-inator.
Yep.
And it fires, and instead of changing everyone back into normal, it actually creates more babies.
I love the gag earlier, by the way, that Candace does what we've been saying she should have done from the first place. She takes a picture and sends it on her phone, sends it to Linda. It's like, oh, she thinks it's an old photo of the boys versus today.
Yeah, except that if you remember correctly, technically the boys didn't meet when they were babies.
Yeah, so maybe maybe Linda's a bad parent.
Just a bad memory or something, or maybe maybe she thought it was photoshopped. Who knows?
Yeah, it's true. She could have been photoshopped, or maybe it was wishful thinking.
Yep. But then all of the girls, like all the other characters, get turned into babies, including Linda herself gets turned into a baby.
Yep, and Candace's like, okay, universe, I get the lesson. This is gonna be fixed in the next episode.
Yep. She's like, okay, the irony is not lost on me.
Yeah, you can tell they wrote themselves into a corner on that one.
Or it's just like they just thought it was a funny way to end the episode.
Well, that's the thing, because how else are they going to end it?
That's a good point. I mean, Candace learned her lesson. It's like, this better wear off by next time.
Yep.
And for all we know, it never does.
Yeah.
Anyway, that brings us to the next episode. Phineas and Ferb and the Temple of Juatchadoon. AKA the Indiana Jones episode. So, what are your thoughts on this one, Dragon?
Well, it's definitely the warm-up for Star Wars.
Keep in mind, this did technically come out before they got Lucasfilm.
Okay.
But technically, yes, you could kind of call it the warm-up to Star Wars.
Sometimes you gotta Temple of Doom before you can Empire Strikes Back.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. Well, I guess technically, sometimes you got Raiders before you New Hope.
Yep, even though technically New Hope came before Raiders, but yeah.
Well, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
There you go.
Yes, I know what you mean. All right, so the episode overall, I thought was like very fun. Probably the highlight of this episode of this pack, if you ask me. All right. And of course we meet in the summer of 1914. Oh, technically 98 years before this episode came out, where Ohio Flynn and Rhode Island Fletcher embark on their latest quest to retrieve a lost amulet of Juatchadoon.
I bet you loved Phineas's name.
It was a pretty nice, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
This is actually the third time the state of Ohio has been mentioned in the show.
Yep.
Remember, do you remember what the other two were?
Let's see. I know there were other Ohio references. I'm just blanking on what the exact what they
Well,
were exactly.
Well, there are only two.
I know there's only two. I was trying to, because I know we've talked about this before. I don't recall what the references were.
All right, so we don't spend too much time on it unless you want to give it a good guess.
No, just tell me.
All right, the first one was in Invasion of the Ferb Snatchers, when the alien in the movie disguises himself as the Doctor is like a creep bob is what I call it in Ohio, where I am from.
Right.
It's like, he grabbed a hammer, and that's what he calls creep bob. He calls hammers in Ohio,
Right.
which I can confirm is not the case. unless it's in a different part of Ohio that I'm not aware of.
That's possible.
Yep. And the second one is more straightforward. Is it in summer? It's in Summer Belongs to You. When they're folding the mess, like, take that corner and fold it over here to Ohio.
Right. Okay, that one I do remember.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and of course, this time we have Ohio Flynn and Rhode Island Fletcher. So,
Who travel by map?
To travel by map, yes. To India to retrieve the amulet of Juatchadoon.
Now you know they're going to India just for the India of it all.
That's probably what it is. But anyway, they go to the giant cannibal cave, which is kind of surprising when they can explicitly mention cannibalism in this cartoon anyway.
Yeah, it's implied that we ate Harrison Ford. So that's the implication, at least.
Yeah, Berserk McGurk apparently is his name in the episode.
Yeah.
But yep.
Of course, when I heard McGurk, I kept thinking of Superman the Animated Series.
McGurk!
McGurk! There you are. What you doing sitting there?
Mr. Mixius Spitlick and all that.
Mixius Spitlick.
Yep. Good old Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah, may he rest in peace. In the fifth dimension, wherever he may be.
Yes. May he rest in peace.
Making us all laugh, telling the aristocrats joke.
Yeah. He's obviously Gilbert's done a lot of stuff, including obviously Iago and the famous Hollywood Squares "You Fool" moment.
It would be so funny if you had Iago the parrot on Hollywood Squares telling the aristocrats joke. just randomly, like we go to him and you think, okay, he's going to say something cutesy like you fool, but he's just going to randomly start telling the filthiest joke known to man.
Well, it'd be even weirder if Digit was the one doing it.
Oh, that's even more.
Oh yeah.
Oh jeez, but he'd be telling it innocently though. I think Iago's going to be like actually doing the material.
Yeah, fair point, but
he's like, I heard this joke once, and I just.
but anyway, so yeah, they come across after stealing the amulet from the giant dinner plate. They come across Doofenshmirtz.
He's basically Belloc from Raiders.
Yep. or we call him Belosh.
Alright.
Salas says that, right?
I don't remember. I always remember when he shows up and you have the big introduction, like Indy says, Belloc.
I know, but like Sala later mistakenly calls him Belosh. But either way, like comes across Doofenshmirtz and somehow Norm is there too.
Yep.
So apparently it's not a giant cannibal, but the abominable snowman. Apparently it's not a giant cannibal, it's the snowman. So this one's not adorable in any way. He's not gonna make you snow cones.
I'm afraid not.
No. Not even lemon ones.
Nope.
And so they make it away, even after Doofenshmirtz's dramatic entrance. They make it all the way to Central America. But that is kind of an interesting way this episode goes, seeing all the different locales instead of just downtown Danville, basically.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. Like any kind of change of pace is always welcome, right?
Oh, for sure.
I was hoping in the mood for a snow cone. Well, maybe you can get a snowball instead.
There you go.
Isn't that what they call them around your area?
Yeah, around on the East Coast, they call them, at least in my neck of the woods, we call them snowballs.
Even if they're in like a little paper cone.
Well, I mean, they usually come in like like a styrofoam cup.
Well, it's the same thing, like shaved ice.
Well, yeah, it's the same thing. I'm just saying that's the difference.
Shaved ice, colored syrup, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Close enough. Well, there you go. Like I actually
Audience, hey, audience! What's your snow cone? What's your snow cone flavor?
like I don't know. I usually go for like a strawberry or something like that.
Really, strawberry.
Yeah, or grape.
All right.
And you probably go for lime.
Yes, lime.
Lime.
I'm not opposed to vanilla, but lime is the one.
They have vanilla snowballs.
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Well, there you go. You learned something new.
Well, there you go.
So there, they land in Panama. And the rest of the
capital of hats.
seemingly, yeah. Rest at a trading post, and they meet Isabella, femme fatale ingenue, and licensed Tyler and grout installer. Girl's gotta make a living.
Yep.
And what do you think of Lawrence being like being the waiter there?
It was cute. I love more so the whole SpongeBob idea here, where like the you would basically have an ice cream bar like we have with the Goofy Goober.
Yep. It's the whole and the fact that the riot breaks like, sorry, Jim, we're all out of maraschino cherries.
Oh, I love that. I love it's like an ice cream bar brawl.
It's all because of maraschino cherries. I've never actually had a maraschino cherry. Dragon, how are those?
I have not had maraschino cherry. I don't like the cherries on my ice cream.
I mean, I don't really either.
Well, the idea that's a fusion buzz. A maraschino cherry is it's more like a bar thing. So it's basically applying the maraschino cherry to ice cream.
Yep. Well,
that's the fusion.
We're a lot of maraschino cherries.
Says Darcy.
Yeah. So yeah. So as it turns out, Isabella is seeking help for her mother, who seems to have gone missing around the Temple of Juatchadoon, and she knows how to get there.
Yeah.
And so they agree to help. As it turns out, though, in this universe, Candace is a journalist.
And Linda is her editor, is her chief.
Oh yeah. I like kind of like this dynamic.
Oh yeah, I'm down for it.
It's like we don't get to see much of Linda in this episode.
No, we did make her a chief though. It's pretty cool. It made her like an editorial chief.
Oh yeah. And Candace is the photographer trying to get a scoop instead of a bust.
Well, she went to the right place to get a scoop. It has ice cream.
Oh yeah. But as Phineas, Ferb, and Isabella make their way to the temple, a mysterious platypus leaps into action.
Yep, but not a platypus wearing a fedora, at least for the whole duration.
No,
a platypus
with a fez.
With a fez. I love the fez.
The fez dispenser.
I love the fez dispenser.
I knew you'd get a kick out of
it. Such a great joke.
I knew you'd get a kick out of that.
It's so early Family Guy, and I love it.
It's like I'll go over to the fez dispenser.
I love the fez. Period. Just let me get that's one of the great accessories of Sala, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Putting Sala in the fez, which is basically what that's a reference to.
Yep, exactly.
But also, just the fez is a good look, and just the fact that we can't have Perry wearing the fedora because Indiana Jones. So if we're not going to make him Indy, we can't put him in the fedora.
Yep. So he has to wear the fez.
He's essentially Sala.
Yep, and he's part of the Secret Order of the Knights without a cool acronym, or Soquaka.
Soquaka.
And so he's sent to stop Doofenshmirtz as well. As
Yeah.
it turns, and even as it turns out, the fez isn't even accurate. It's like,
We're not in Egypt.
I thought those pyramids looked a little stair-steppy.
It's like if MC Escher built the pyramids.
Yeah.
Like Escher, why is it always why always with the stairs with you, huh? What? I need to get my steps in.
Too many stairs. Oh God.
You ever go to Christopher Nolan's house? It's nothing but stairs.
It's like
To
Chris.
do everything, like bathroom, it's on the second floor. You know, you need to go to the sink. Look, there's a little staircase to get to the sink.
Chris, why did you put so many stairs in the house?
I like MC Escher, so what?
Like it's impossible to get anywhere.
Could you get me some tea, love? And he says, "Oh yeah, sure." He's like, "Oh, why are there stairs to get to the cupboards?"
That's not to mention there's stairs in the cupboards too.
Yep, and it was like a little like like a platform thing, like where all the different teas are, like endless stairs.
Endless stare, endless tea, endless tea.
Yep.
Few Neutron had tea. Do you think?
Not as funny.
I know. You said endless tea, so it reminded me of endless pie.
Yep. But endless stairs.
Endless stairs. Endless stairs.
Jack Black's worst nightmare.
Stairs.
Endless stairs.
Oh yeah. Alrighty. Anyway. So Fez is not there because they're not in Egypt. They're in Panama. And the funny thing is, in 1914, that's when the year the Panama Canal was created.
Yep.
Obviously not like this, like it's portrayed in this episode, but
we can dream.
we can dream, yes. For a chance to dream, after all.
There you go.
So
Panama is essentially a giant stairwell, so it all works out.
Yep, and so Skipper Baljean versus First Mate Buford. It's like, are you actually gonna come with us? And ruin my air of unconcern? Not until the last second, my friend. Authentic riverboat gibberish. So, they make it to the temple. And Candace has decided to stow away too.
Off screen.
It's like the good thing she managed to accidentally hammer herself into that box, right, Dragon?
Yeah. Again, this is the animator's favorite type of scene, by the way.
Like the off screen.
Yeah, just saying what happened versus showing it.
At least in television animation.
Yeah. Well, even if when feature animation's a godsend, specifically, can't we just like? I remember Brad Bird shared this hilarious story of the animators, jokingly, but still, is like say, like Bob. One of the hardest shots in The Incredibles was Bob, getting his seeing the hole in his old super suit, which of course motivates him to go to Edna Mode's place to get a new suit. So it's basically like, oh, God, can we just describe him? Like, can't we just like see his expression as he's like describing putting his hand through the hole in the suit? It's like, do we have to show it? This guy with the story point. No, we have to show it. We have to show the hand going through the fabric. We have to see there's a hole in the suit. But can't you just describe it?
Keep in mind that was a lot harder to do in the early 2000s in computer animation.
Yeah.
Brad Bird really pushed them to their limits.
Yep, used up every part of the buffalo and every particle of toothpaste from the animator.
It's like, hey folks, we should start a drinking game. Take a drink every time we mention Brad Bird, Batman, Freakazoid, etc.
Yeah.
And not necessarily alcoholic because you'd basically die.
Yeah. Take a look of your snow cone and/or snowball every time you.
I will do it. I will hopefully live.
No, you Aquatad, you don't have the strength. You're not gonna live.
What I'm
Darn you, you darn fool kid. It's not gonna end well for you.
that's why I said
There's
that's why
just too much. There's just too much to live for, Aquatad. Don't do it.
that's why I said non-alcoholic.
Yep.
I said, especially considering how much to bring a Freakazoid, Batman, Brad Bird, The Incredibles, all that stuff.
Jacob, you're gonna kill the viewer. Oh wait, he said non-alcoholic. We're okay.
I mean, they can do an alcoholic if they want, but we're just saying we're not liable for this.
If you're tired of living, do the alcoholic version of it. Only if you're tired of living.
It's like, but remember, we can't be sued for this.
No, we can't.
Anyone got a large amount of cream sodas?
There you go.
There we go. That's good. Maybe you'll just get an ice cream headache or something.
Yeah, there you go. Brain freeze.
Yes. I mean, to be fair, there was an ice cream bar earlier in this episode, so it's apt.
There you go.
So
Basically,
Dre,
binge ice, a whole box of ice cream sandwiches. Eat the mini ones, and eat a mini ice cream sandwich every time we mention those things.
Yep. Be sure to keep them nearby in like a cooler or something, so they don't melt.
Well, yeah. Or just here's the thing: take your computer and/or your phone and just stand by the fridge the whole time. Get your steps in, like do a little kind of like a 10, like kind of a 10 Hutton place kind of thing. And when you hear us mention it, it's like you stop, open the freezer door, reach your hand in, grab the little ice cream sandwich, unwrap it, just like all in one bite, and there you go.
Also, that's another thing. That's another thing for drinking game. Every time we go on a food tangent.
Yeah, there you go.
Or but definitely don't drink every time we go on a random tangent because that would all definitely kill you too.
This podcast is sponsored by Friendlies.
Yes.
Yes, yes, mainly because I want the. Because Jacob, I'll tell you, every time I sit down and I watch an episode of Phineas and Ferb for the Recap-inator, I'm chowing down on 4 popsicles of different flavors. Yes, of lime. I start with the lime, and then the grape, and then the cherry, and then the orange, because I have to settle for the orange, and I believe in a complete set. In the Friendlies popsicle set, which I get because it's the only one that has lime. That's not like the stupid Outshine bars, which are like genuinely natural fruit flavored and boring as heck.
I've never even heard of that one.
Well, don't seek them out. Only unless you want heartbreak. Don't seek them out. Regardless of the Friendlies, the Friendlies.
I mean, I have heard of Friendlies ice cream.
Yes, but for the Friendlies brand of popsicles, now that's what you want to get.
Well, I'll definitely keep that in mind, Dragon. Thank you. That sounds delicious.
See, if only Friendlies actually sponsored us, we'd be able to get free popsicles shipped to us.
That would be nice. That'd be probably one of the few sponsorships we'd actually accept.
Yes, but also, again, if perhaps the iced fruity popsicle is not your forte, we believe in America here on So You Want to Be an Imagineer. You know what the American institution is? It's the ice cream sandwich. Where can we go wrong? Now, is it an ice cream sandwich or is it ice cream in the shape of a sandwich? Well, it's actually just the ice cream sandwich, but you can imagine it if you'd like. If you want to think Phineas and Ferb and you want to think ice cream, you can think that while you're eating an actual ice cream sandwich. But if you can pick a brand, Friendlies. You know why? Because that's the ice cream you have with your friends.
My favorite kind of ice cream sandwich is actually like one that's between two like chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And it has little bits of chocolate chips around the outside.
Okay.
All right. Now that our food tangent is over.
Now, by the way, just so you know, our audience is now morbidly obese by the time we finish this podcast, but we're just going to move on.
Well, they all signed the waivers, Dragon.
They did. We made sure before we started this little theme park ride of a podcast.
Yep. You all signed the waivers, right?
Yep.
See, Phineas wasn't just talking to his friends; he was talking to you guys out in the audience.
Yep. We're also sponsored by Osiris Food Markets. Food's so good, you can eat it.
Like, I didn't sign anything. Well, We still can't be sued because it was a verbal agreement.
I want to correct my Freakazoid reference I just made. Anubis Food Markets. Food so good you can eat it. The division of Osiris Foods.
Yeah, because nothing says delicious food like the god of the underworld.
And oddly, an odd reference because, yet again, not in Egypt.
Yep.
We can dream, though.
Nothing says delicious foods like Egyptian gods of the dead.
Well, yeah. It's food to die for, my friend.
And Kogias, you didn't say anything like, well, you don't have proof. We don't have proof of that.
It's food to die for, or food to duel by, if you go by the Yu-Gi-Oh movie.
Oh God. Also Egyptian, has Egyptian roots.
Well, yes.
Anyway, I'm talking a lot about Egypt, considering we're not even in Egypt.
Well, the episode started.
Yes. So anyway, like, what do you make of the actual temple itself? Like the inside of the temple, and like going through the temple and all the booby traps along with the song.
Well, it's definitely kind of an indie's paradise.
Oh yep. Even snakes.
God, why did it have to be snakes? Not just snakes, rats.
Snakes, rats, boulders.
You're getting a sense referencing all the indie movies here because we started off in the we have the snow, which is a lot like I forget how did we escape the. Oh wait, we combined it. Okay, so we didn't escape via raft, but we did have kind of an icy mountain, so it's a little like Temple of Doom.
Yeah, but yeah, like so, kind of like the Himalayas, I guess.
Vaguely like the Himalayas, and we have the plane like Raiders, and then we have the fezzes like Last Crusade and Solid. Yeah.
The boulder.
Yep, we have the boulder, and we have you get the rats from Last Crusade, and the snakes from Raiders.
and as you mentioned, Doofenshmirtz earlier is dressed like Belloc.
All the fire and stuff, and the rope bridge. The rope bridge is a nod to Temple of Doom.
Yep, except here it's just actual rope and not just it's all rope instead of like being a rope and some planks of wood.
You betrayed Shiva.
Like I will still defend Temple of Doom.
Look, again, Temple of Doom, and now where we are with Indy, it's definitely not the bottom of the rung anymore. So I mean, Temple of Doom's definitely gone up a lot.
Dragon, it never really was the bottom of the rung.
I know. That's yeah.
I never
for a while it was until we had Crystal Skull, and then
No, I mean like even with the original trilogy, it was never the bottom of the rung.
Ah, come on! It used to be the bottom of the rung. Come on.
Not to me.
Yeah, and really did it top Raiders for you?
No.
Okay, there you go.
Not Raiders are still the best one.
But really, I mean, you had Connery.
Yeah, I know it, and I like Connery. I didn't say Last Crusade was bad. I'm just saying I like Temple of Doom more.
All right. Is it because the villain had a big head?
No.
Okay, good. All right.
I just like Temple of Doom more. I just had like gone into a lot of interesting directions. I just really like it.
All right.
I know Lucas and Spielberg really don't, but I don't care.
Okay.
And heck, and remember, Spielberg met his wife there too.
Spielberg doesn't really dislike the movie. He got a wife out of it.
Yep.
you know?
That he did.
Yep. I mean, Harrison Ford got back trauma from it, so I don't think it's his favorite. But
like the original movie, he got dysentery.
Well, so did everyone, though. It doesn't really count.
Except Steven.
Everyone but the director got dysentery, so that doesn't count. That's not a valid point. We got a tremendous improvisation because of it, so that's something good that came from it.
All because Steven packed his own food.
Yeah, because he's smart.
All because he packed his own
That's
food.
why that man gets a biopic, because he thought ahead.
A self-made biopic.
Yes. An unofficial biopic, but a biopic nonetheless.
That's like I said, self-made too.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
because if he actually called the Fableman Spielberg the Spielbergs, it would have been super pretentious.
Yeah. Yeah, it probably would have. But no,
Anyway.
change the last name. He's all good.
Yep.
And Kogia says he wouldn't sue us anyways. Well, thank you, Kogia.
All right, thanks.
Yep. And so they come into the Temple of the Corn Colossus, which
It's a good name.
It is a good name, and Phineas does wonder why, like, so many ancient civilizations created things that could destroy the world.
It's a good question.
It is a good question, yes. But as it turns out, they get trapped by none other than Doofenshmirtz with an even more impressive entrance.
Which is about to be topped.
Oh yeah, but not yet.
Which, by the way, Doofenshmirtz with the entrance has been a fun running gag. He does the slow clap. Earlier.
It's like, yeah, I mentioned that earlier, and he's like, it's like, what was it the slow clap? I thought it made it more dramatic. Well, he is right, it did make it more dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but here it's like fanfare, confetti, and dramatic lighting. He had it all.
Yep.
But
then he enters.
But then it's like, do you expect us to just give it to you? Yes, I do. As it turns out, Isabella betrayed them.
Yep. So this was genuinely surprising here that we took Isabella. By the way, I love that earlier she was dressed exactly like Willie Scott, just purple.
Yep, with like the purple dress, the showgirl dress, the hair
and everything.
Yep. That's another Temple of Doom reference.
Well, yeah, it's an Indiana Jones themed episode, Jacob. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, I know.
But you're right. No, you're right. We do definitely have Temple. That's definitely a Temple of Doom pull.
Yep. But at least she changes into the explorer outfit and doesn't stay in that dress.
Yep.
So, but it turns out,
that dress was expensive, by the way.
Yeah, it's like real sequins and all that, and
an elephant ate the back of it,
which you can actually see during the movie itself.
Oh yeah.
And that's why the dress doesn't have a back.
Yep.
Oh God. Fun behind the scenes stuff for Temple of Doom. Anyway, so Isabella betrayed Doof betrayed the boys to save her mother. As it turns out, like, you dirty double crosser. It's like, well, I forgot to give you this card. And it turns out she has a business card for that too. Yep. If she had just given them the business card, they might have been forewarned.
Yeah.
But oh well. But Doof being Doof, he betrays her too and shoves her down the pit as well.
Yep.
But so Dragon, he then activates the Corn Colossus.
Like, kind of hurts. I got used to it.
Yep. He's like, all powerful, yeah. They're like, but first we're gonna go to New York. We're gonna make a killing on Broadway.
Little young Frankenstein.
Or King Kong.
No, I guess you're right. King Kong's the more apt comparison, but you know.
Yep. Young Frankenstein, I guess.
Yep.
But then the sofa entrance earlier gets topped. By who, Dragon?
Barry the Platypus.
In a fez.
Yep, so basically we took the full Perry the Platypus theme song that we altered, like fedora or hat to fez.
It's like he's Perry the Platypus in a fez.
Which, by the way, so this is also Temple of Doom, like the whole Showgirls kind of musical number, very much, the opening of Temple of Doom.
Oh yeah. Still my favorite indie opening.
Yep, the whole anything goes, but I think it's in
Mandarin. Yep, I don't know how good the actual pronunciation is, but it is supposed to be in Mandarin.
Well, I mean, they worked really hard on that, so it's probably legit Mandarin.
Well, I mean, I think some people said the pronunciation's a bit off, but it's still a commendable effort.
It's better than we do.
Yep. I can't speak any Chinese. I can say, like, ni hao, but that's about it.
Yeah, I'm more on the Japanese side of things, so it doesn't really help me at all.
I have current like me too. I'm like 230 days into Duolingo Japanese.
I can say sumimasen, that's about it.
Say what?
Sumimasen.
Which means excuse me.
Yeah. Kind of excuse me, my apologies kind of a thing. Basically, the only thing I'm ever going to need.
Yep. Sumimasen.
Yep.
Watashi wa Jacob.
All right.
Hey, I don't get a lot of opportunities to show off my Japanese. But all right, anyway.
Excuse me, my name is Jacob.
I was like, watashi wa means my I am, basically.
Okay.
Like sumimasen watashi wa Jacob. That's like, excuse me, my name is Jacob.
Yep.
There we go. So they activate the Corn Colossus. Perry enters, frees everyone during the musical number, and one-ups the end, and basically one-upping Doof's entrance. It is a cool entrance, though, you gotta admit.
Oh, yeah.
And so the Corn Colossus chases the group away. They think they have it safe on the rope bridge, which it does fall into the fire. Corn
Which you
pop.
think would be the end, and it would be a popcorn related death.
Yep. But then it emerges from the fire and chases after him. Which you gotta admit is a pretty impressive shot that they pulled off there.
Oh yeah.
Yes, they really did a lot of good animation in this episode. I mean, that's not something you say in a lot of this show, but they really had some pretty cool shots here. And so, like, they make it outside. Perry fights Doof, and apparently his fez also has a helicopter attachment to it as well. You're a real spoil sport, you know that. It's like, oh, good, now like my face is gonna melt or something. Did you hear him mention that?
Oh yeah.
It's a good thing that doesn't happen.
Well, it'd be a very different show if that happened. One could say a grittier version of the show.
Indeed. So yeah, in this version, activating the Corn Colossus comes with a price. Once the corn amulet is destroyed, you go along with it.
Yep.
And it's not a quick explosion, and not a quick death either. It's a slow, painful death where your body melts, you sweat butter, and popcorn erupts from your veins.
See, I was gonna say, like, literally all the pores in your body, like kind of like the kernel emerges and it pops.
I mean, that's kind of similar.
Oh no, you're right. Similar. I mean, yours is more internal. I just externalized it, so it's a little more cinematic. But yeah.
Oh yeah, that
yours is yours is more horrifying. I'm just saying mine's a little more visual.
Well, you can still it does come out of their veins, but it pops out after it's completely burst.
I'm just saying it's like literally like it's kind of like, remember in Men in Black 2, you had like the corn on the cob looking guy.
Yeah.
Yes, it's kind of like that guy. Basically, is imagine all the pores in your skin suddenly opened up, and out of them like corn seedlings or the kernels were emerging. But then your skin the butter on your skin ignited suddenly, so you're on fire like the Human Torch for a millisecond. Then popcorn, it's all over, and as it pops out, it's like it's like. This is kind of like an inverse of a gunshot, so like the bullet's coming out the other way.
And then
yep. So imagine like over 700 squibs going off at the same time.
Oh yeah.
On every part of your body.
Every part.
Every part.
Oh yeah. It's always fun when I can actually contribute something to the gritty reboot.
There you go. You can traumatize the viewers equally.
Yep.
Yeah.
I try my best, Dragon. I try my best.
You scared Sonya off.
Oh well. She'll be back.
Yep.
like, so the corn colossus breaks out of the pyramid, chases after them. They find it, and and instead of trying to activate the amulet, they do what Isabella did to solve the puzzle earlier, or we could just hit it with a rock. And they break the amulet. And then it blows up into popcorn.
Yeah.
And then Ohio's just like, oh, now he pops. How does that make sense? You gotta, like, that's another interesting thing about this. Like, not actually being the actual Phineas, you could actually show him getting a little bit annoyed here and there.
Yeah, he's doing the get on the trike.
He doesn't actually yell, though. He just gets more annoyed.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, now he pops. Wait until the CW gets a word of the gritty reboot.
That's the genesis of the gritty reboot, my friends. Always the CW.
Oh, God, not the CW. I'm just glad the Powerpuff Girls thing didn't come to fruition.
Oh, thank God. But, the other... Okay, you're right. Like, put the gritty reboot once more. Okay, here's the CW's gritty reboot of Phineas and Ferb.
Oh, no.
Okay, you're gonna think Riverdale, kids.
Hold on. Just 1 second. There we go.
Okay, so you got Phineas and Ferb, the non-biological brothers. And they're all heart-throbbing and constantly shirtless in their rooms. They're just hanging out and just being like, basically, Ferb's kind of the Phineas is the Archie Andrews, he's the KJ Appa of the bunch, and then you have the Cole Sprouse, Jughead, which is Ferb, kind of like, the intellectual silent type. Then you have the girl next door with Isabella, and then you have, of course, the age inappropriate relationship between we're gonna age up Vanessa in the CW gritty reboot.
It's like, so who's Betty and who's Veronica?
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. So we have Vanessa and we have Isabella.
Oh God,
it's all sorts of wrong.
Oh yeah.
Yep, and of course the antique shop. It's a front for Lawrence getting in bed with the mob.
Is all this stuff actually happening in Riverdale?
Honestly, I mean, well, yeah, I think Riverdale. Dear God, at least I hope Riverdale's ended at this point. But I'm pretty sure it's ended. And when they've done this stuff.
Oh no!
All the stuff I mentioned, CW stuff.
Oh God.
Age, like the very first, the pilot of Riverdale, Archie's having a thing with Miss Grundy.
Okay, then.
He's his teacher. And then, of course, there's constantly shirtless. We do have the girl next door thing. And we do have the mob.
Oh, God.
So, yeah. Believe it or not, crazy as this sounds, the mob season was actually the last really good season of Riverdale. Riverdale had two, at the end, it's the CW principle. The first two seasons are good. Then afterwards, each we lose part of the DNA each season. It goes downhill.
Oh.
But yeah, actually, it's Hiram Lodge. I love Hiram Lodge. I think Mark Consuelos is his name. Kelly Ripa's husband. Kelly Ripa, Disney Legend winner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So her husband is an actor, and he plays Veronica's dad in that show, and I love Hiram Lodge. He's so cool, and basically we play him like a crime boss. He was actually really cool.
Like, remember when Archie was just a simple gag comic?
No, here's the weird thing. Literally, my nostalgia, my introduction to Archie is actually Archie's strange. I think it's Archie's Weird Mysteries.
You mean the series?
Yeah, the cartoon. Yeah.
Like,
so in a sense, there's an element of that. At the very least, in late seasons of Riverdale, they kind of went all sorts of weird directions, which in a weird kind of sense is kind of like the gritty CW version of Archie's Weird Mysteries.
Well, I think it works better in a cartoon in some.
Well, cases. You're right, it does. I'm just saying, no, I'm with you. I long for the simplicity of Archie, but I think it's interesting that the CW shows in premise of like with the overarching mystery plots and all the weird directions they go in kind of fits in line with Archie's Weird Mysteries.
I hear
it's not good at all, but I'm just saying.
mean, I hear that some of like the actual more like adult-centered Archie stuff and like that is actually pretty good though. Like adult life with Archie kind of thing.
Yeah,
I hear some of that stuff actually pretty good.
yeah. You should read Dan Parent's stuff sometime.
I haven't read any Archie, so there's that.
Well, Jeff Parker's a really good comics writer. He did the Batman 66 comic, which is basically what if the Batman 60s show went on, but it was basically in comic form. And it's really good. He wrote that, and the kind of following suit, he did the Archie comics with Dan Parent doing the art for him, which basically looks like the classic Archie style. So basically continued it. So it's good.
Oh, nice. I'll have to check that stuff out.
Yeah.
Heck, I still need to get through Batman White Knight though.
You didn't finish the first one yet?
I haven't. Well, I've started reading it recently.
Okay.
It's like, wasn't Sabrina the Teenage Witch in Riverdale?
Yes, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Was it the same one? Is it the same one that went on to be Chilling Adventures of Sabrina?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, at the very least, that's the intent. I'm pretty sure it's the same girl. I'm pretty sure we introduced her. Here's the thing. I forget which. I want to say she was like a brief cameo in Archie, and then she got the spinoff on Netflix, and then we tied her back in. So she came back into Archie. I think that's what happened. I could be wrong, but at the very least, there was a Netflix show, and then we actually put Sabrina into the the Riverdale show.
Huh. All right. Anyway,
look, it's no Melissa Joan Hart, Sabrina. I'll tell you that much.
Yep. It's kind of funny considering that this show that Phineas and Ferb actually does have a tie to Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yeah.
You remember, right?
Yeah.
Caroline Rhee.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Sabrina's aunt, right?
Yeah, Hilda.
Yep, Hilda Spellman.
Yep, Hilda Spellman.
So see, it all comes full circle.
Yep. And you thought we were trailing off topic. We were going to bring it back.
Yep, totally. We totally
You can put the ice cream down. We're all good.
See, we totally planned that.
Yeah.
So anyways, so they destroy the core colossus that destroys the temple and creates a fault all across Panama.
Yep.
Essentially creating the Panama Canal. And that, kids, is how the Panama Canal was made.
And then Nolan made a biopic about it. It was 4 hours.
Yes. And so later they are actually rescued by Baljeet and Buford and Baljeet. They head back for civilization.
Also,
yeah,
Baljeet putting the moves on Mrs. Garcia Shapiro.
Kind of. That's how it goes, babe.
Yeah. That's kind of twisted.
Yep. Yeah. Yes, it is. And so it's like, and of course it ends with like the platypus was weird. Was kind of weird. I was like, well, what a world this is. Like, one may seem strange to one person, may seem commonplace to another.
But yeah, the fez was weird.
I mean, we're not even in Egypt. And of course, poor Candace, her camera was destroyed. It was waterlogged, and unfortunately, she won't have any evidence.
Yep.
Yeah. And that brings us to the end of the episode. So, final thoughts.
Yeah, it's a solid week. I think obviously, who doesn't love Indy? Well, except for the new Indy movie. With the exception of that, who doesn't love Indy? So you gotta throw it some. Seeing Phineas and Ferb kind of warm up for their the big Star Wars stuff coming up there. It's fitting and it was good.
Yeah, they don't have the Star Wars episode doesn't come until late into the 4th season, but it is a good warm up. And hopefully the revival does actually do a sequel to this. I would like to see more adventures with Ohio Flynn, Rhode Island Fletcher. I mean, what do you think?
I mean, I'm open to it, but unfortunately, I don't think. Well, I mean, look, if Dan and Swampy want to see it happen, I think they'd have the clout to make it happen. But it does feel like perhaps the ship has kind of sailed on Indy for a while.
Well, who knows?
Yep.
Maybe who knows? Maybe they'll finally do Episode 5 of Star Wars too.
There you go.
But they'll have to work with Lucasfilm on that.
Yep.
So.
You know who they're going to need to consult, though, right?
Who?
A man with a wolf obsession. A man who also enjoys hats.
Heck, guy
Not a fedora, but a bigger hat.
A very much bigger hat.
Here's the thing. So the man walks in. He removes the hat. And inside the hat,
there's another hat.
No. Inside the hat is an outfit. That outfit
is a rebel pilot.
Yes, because he's a rebel with a cause.
And every time you look at him, this hat gets bigger.
Yeah.
Like that gag in Scary Movie 3.
Yep, he's got the dark saber in there, and he's got a big calendar full of wolves on it.
It's like, Dave, are you taking props from the set again?
No, shut up.
It's like, Dave,
is that cool? There's donuts here. Did you stop and just put it all in craft service? Like, I'm allowed to eat. I have low blood sugar. Hey, shut up.
It's like, all right, Dave, calm down. Put the dark saber down, Dave.
No, it's mine.
Dave.
Bo-Katan couldn't handle. It's mine.
It's like, go sit in the corner, Dave.
but corner, Dave. Now. Okay. What did they send you guys here for? You're talking to Dan and Swamp. You're also in the corner. We were doing Star Wars when we weren't supposed to. Yeah.
And then Jon Favreau's there too. It's just like, I don't know why they send me here.
Well, no. Favreau put Filoni in the corner.
It's like, all right, fair enough. That sounds funnier anyway.
No, but then here's the thing. So then Feige puts Jon Favreau in the corner.
It's like, wait, I don't even work for you anymore.
You see the hat? Yeah. Does this look like a giant oversized cowboy hat? No. Does this look like a big boy's hat? Yes. Are you going to do what I say, Favreau?
Yes.
Yeah. Who gave you your start, Favreau? You did.
And then Iger comes in and puts Kevin in the corner.
No, he just sends him he just says, okay, no dessert. And he says, okay, Kevin, you're my favorite. Have some, don't tell anyone, though.
Like, that Iger goes in.
Here's an ice cream sandwich that we're sponsored by. Just don't tell anyone.
I think Iger just comes in and is like, what the heck's going on in here?
Yep.
All right, I think this
He's actually asking, no, seriously, what's going on here? I've been away for a while, and I don't know what's going on here. I want to help, but I need variables, guys. Someone to give me all the details. Come on. Wait, what are the Muppets doing now? Okay, we'll just put them to the side. We'll think of something for them later.
But you always put the Muppets to the side.
I'll figure. We'll get there when we get there.
All right, I think this tanden's going.
We had a whole show for him. Like, yeah, but we'll have other shows. With who? Maybe Statler and Waldorf. Like, really? I don't know. Maybe just put on the idea board.
I think this tangent has gone on long enough. What do you think, Dragon?
Yeah.
All right. It was funny though.
Yep.
All right. So, future of Indiana Jones and internal workings aside, thank you. And hats, yes. Thank you for joining us, Little Blue, Aquatad, Sonia, Code Geass, and we had Claude in here briefly too. Thank you all for joining us this evening. And join us next week when we follow the misadventures of one of Danville's premier delivery guys. Good night, everybody.